Welcome to the studio here at African Utility Week in PowerGen Africa. We're joined by Alex McNamara from the National Business Initiative. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you.
We're talking about the topic of unlocking water investment in South Africa. Alex, what are some of the challenges that investors in water are facing?
Well, firstly, just to say that unlocking water investment is certainly not a national problem. It's definitely a global issue. So the whole world is grappling with how do we unlock water in the way we have in transport, the way we have in energy, etc. So our challenges are certainly not unique. But I think the first thing is we've got to get our water pricing right. So you'll find generally water is really undervalued. And basically what that means is there's no real return on investment for many projects. And although investors want to invest, the market isn't really fit for purpose, if you like. So the first thing we have to do is think about, can we move towards more cost-effective tariffs? As soon as you say that, however, you have to think about how do we protect the poor at the same time. So really the first key challenge is how do we get the pricing right and make sure we protect the poor? And the other one is where do we look and where can we unlock opportunities around, for example, public-private partnerships, which have been able to work in other spaces, but less so in water at the moment. The key challenge really though is that enabling environment. If we can get the institutions right, if we can get the pricing right, the investors are ready and available to invest in the water market. And they don't have to be global investors. The domestic market is more than adequate to address our water investment needs.
So what should the utility market be doing to address these challenges?
I think the first thing, like I mentioned, is to get the sort of tariff thinking correct. So effectively, we can have a free basic water allowance that's very important, as critical as a sort of social lifeline. But beyond that sort of usage, the National Water Master Plan says that everybody except the poor must pay for water and sanitation services. If we don't get to that point and we don't combine it with more cost-effective tariffs, we will not see the kind of investment and service levels we actually need. So if we get the tariff setting right, that's one part of it. The other part is make sure you've got your payment methods correct, make sure it's easy for people to pay, raise your customer services levels, and at the same time, make sure you're raising your revenue in general. So the low-hanging fruit, water leakage and non-revenue water, are costing us almost 10 billion rand a year in this country. That's an economic opportunity. So let's harness the economic opportunities. So water leakage is one example. Wastewater treatment is another one, which is currently a difficult situation, but that could be a real opportunity for the economy and for utilities as well. So it's a combination of better customer service, better tariff setting, improving governance in many cases, improving their institutional capacity so they can unlock things like public-private partnerships, but also basically increase revenue, reduce cost, and enable water investment to flow.
So how is new technology enabling the water sector?
In a number of ways. For example, if you're trying to track water leakage, for example, we're doing things as ourselves where we're actually flying drones and helping municipalities fly drones to see, this is an area that's built up massively over a period of time, but we couldn't really figure it out until we had an aerial view. So drones have actually become something you can do to think about rapid expansion of areas. How does it affect a municipality, for example, its planning, and also what kind of water losses could we then expect in that area. They're also using remote sensing as another example, but obviously clearly the other key opportunities around metering. So how do we make sure that we have accurate metering? How do we make sure that customers can also engage more with their water consumption, get a better sense of what they're using? All of those things are really supporting the user to understand water for the first time, think about how they reduce the consumption, and of course allowing utilities to have better information, more accurate records, etc. One of the biggest challenges is just that you may not be metered or you may not be paying. So if you have an accurate meter, an accurate bill linked to technology, it's more likely you will pay, and ultimately the revenue will increase for the utility as well. The other examples, I think one of the things that's quite useful with smartphones, information is at your doorstep, really. It's at your palm of your hand. So if you want to know what the drinking water quality is in your neighborhood, you can find that out almost immediately. You can see what the latest blue drop status is for your local municipality. But it's also about that active citizen who's thinking about what is the quality of water in this area, how is my municipality faring, and then of course making sure we have accurate metering and billing that underpins all of that as well.
Very interesting. Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel now for more industry-related content. Thanks for joining us.